Good morning, Ghana. Good morning, wonderful listeners of GhanaTalks Radio. It's a beautiful, brand new day, and we are here again. And to God be the glory. It's Independence Day right here in Ghana. I would like to wish all our lovely listeners a happy Independence Day. So you are welcome to News Headlines Review. Here we bring you all the latest news and headlines making waves in the news, from politics to business, from sports to entertainment, and everything in between. As usual, I remain your host, Esna Fiagbedu. And joining me in the studios today for a headline review is Miss Regina Bless. Good morning, Miss Regina.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm great. What of you?
I'm fine. I see you rocking your African print.
You also look beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. How are you feeling about the Independence Day so far? Today is Independence Day.
Nothing special about it. So there's nothing special about this independence. We've had several independence and everything still remains the same. So.
And today's own is going to be quite different from the usual.
It would only be different because we are no longer having it at the Black Star Square, but rather the Jubilee House, and also it has cut down costs. That's the only difference. What else? Nothing.
At least it's going to release stress on some of the school children. They wouldn't be in the same.
And I'm sure some students are not happy about this because they would like to parade.
Wow. But anyway, it's all for the betterment of our country. So let's move straight into our headlines for today. Interior Minister discusses prison agriculture project with Ambassador of Turkey to Ghana. The Ambassador of Turkey to Ghana, His Excellency Hussein, paid a courtesy call on the Minister for the Interior, that is Honorable Mutaka Mohammed Mubarak, at his office in Accra. During the meeting, Mr. Mutaka expressed Ghana's appreciation for Turkey's support in various fields, including security and economic development. He also highlighted the prison agriculture project as an initiative aimed at addressing the feeding crisis with Ghana's prisons. A statement issued by the ministry after the engagement on Tuesday, March 4th, said the minister emphasized the importance of cooperation between the two nations in areas such as counter-terrorism, cybersecurity, and capacity building for security services. The Turkish ambassador reiterated Turkey's commitment to strengthen its relationship with Ghana and enhancing cooperation in all areas of mutual interest. So I don't know if Ghana also wants to embark on the initiative that is happening in Burkina Faso, which has to do with the prison agriculture project. Do you think it's going to help us?
Yeah, it is a great initiative. It is a great initiative our ministers and ambassador want to undergo, because the last time we were having a conversation that these prisoners are there, and what are they doing? Aside they being punished, the only thing they do is fight and fool around there, sitting idle. The Bible says devil finds work for the idle hands. And to know what it is a correctional center. But what correctional measures have they put in place to make sure that when these people are there and more time, so when they come out, what impact do they have on themselves, and also what positive impacts would they bring to the society? So with this initiative, it is good. Copying is allowed. Copying is allowed because Burkina has started this initiative when prisoners will be taken to the agricultural sector and 3 months of your time will be taken off. But with Ghana, we beg 3 months should be taken off from their time. They should serve their full sentence and still be working. they are being paid. Definitely they'll be paid, as you all suggested.
We don't know for our government if they are going to be paid.
Our governments definitely at least will find something small for them.
But at least there's hope when you are working whilst you are undergoing your term in prison and then when you come out, maybe you can take that as a job. On the run,
you see, I said that our prison centers, in fact, all prisoners worldwide, is a correctional center.
Yes, it is.
But Ghana here, it's only a few prisons where maybe I will call now. People are being taught how to sew, how to cook, how to braid and all that. But it's like the only thing they do is just go there, serve their time and come back. Without them impacting any skills in them, because after all, they've spent almost half of their lives in prison. They've wasted away their lives in prison. Nipa and so there, you can't sit down and just waste your life. You have to know something. You have to learn a skill. So if truly this initiative will come on there, then it's a good thing. At least, even though they don't have any idea about it, I trust and I believe that an education sector or an education sort of will be given to them on the do's and don'ts of agriculture, if you get what I'm trying to say.
And this is said to address the feeding crisis in prison. So that should tell you that people at prison are not even fed well.
There are sometimes some people eat once a day. At times nothing at all. At times,
but I think for the fact that you are correcting someone and someone is paying for their crime doesn't mean you shouldn't feed them. So if this agriculture, I
do not eat them.
Oh, come on. look at when you go to USA like this. People want to go to prison because for that place you're not paying rent.
It's a nice place.
And it's like you're in their house. Compared to here in Ghana, our prison system, like, see, our prison system here in Ghana is
very bad.
Very, very bad. Oh, that's worse.
And even prisoners outside there, when you see their food, it's very appetizing.
Oh yes.
See,
even if you go to SHS, the food is even better than when you go to prison. But sometimes too, prison food is better than SHS.
Yeah.
You get me?
True.
So this feeding crisis there, if the agricultural project is going to help to keep the feeding crisis in our prisons, I think that will go a long way.
And with their statement, it looks like they'll only be working in prison, and the food is mainly for the prisoners. If they are supposed to work in that sector, it means any proceeds they get would be dedicated to the prisoners. But I feel how Burkina are doing it, I feel that when they are being brought out to work on all agricultural sector in this country, it would really help. At least it will cut down certain costs.
At least you come out of prison and you know you're a farmer. At least you've learned a skill and that's a source of employment that will help you to make money for yourself. So I think that is a great initiative from our interior minister. So moving on, Independence Day budget cut by 90%. Kwachi Ofosu, the Minister of State for Government Communication, Felix Kwachi Ofosu, has announced that this year's 68th Independence Day celebration will cost only a tenth of last year's 15 million budget. The scaled-down event set to happen today at the Jubilee House aimed to ensure fiscal prudence while maintaining the occasion's significance. Participation has been reduced from 3,600 to just over 500, including security personnel and school children. Kwachi Ofosu emphasized that while the celebrations are more cost-effective, their importance remains unchanged. This is coming from Government Communication Minister Felix Kwachi Ofosu. He's saying that the budget, which was for last year, 15 million Ghana cedis, what they are spending this year is a tenth of it. And I think that is a big slash. That is a big difference as compared. And now the numbers has been reduced from 3,600 to just 500 people, and which includes security personnel and school children. So I know I believe some selected schools will be selected to match at the Jubilee House. At least the school kids are
3,600.
3,600.
And these people would stand for a longer period of time and be fainting. Yeah, so as I said, these people will be standing in the sun and be fainting, even Odogono. Yeah. Sometimes some people faint.
End up fainting.
See, I'll say this again. I don't see the need for celebrating independence. It is important to commemorate our founders, those who brought independence to Ghana. But AC, right now, what we are going through, it's not the matter of celebrating independence. We always make comparisons to Nigerians and other countries. That when these people, it's time for them to celebrate independence, the only thing we see is flyers flying around. Happy Independence Day, Nigeria. Happy Independence Day this. Happy Independence Day that.
In Ghana,
you found a World Cup. Oh, it's good to practice your culture. It's good to make certain events so special. But considering this right now, and yesterday someone asked me, so Reggie, looking at we celebrating our 68th independence right now, are we really independent? Have we really improved? Have we really gone forward as a country?
I think this is the time that we must sit down as a country and assess ourselves. What have we been able to achieve the past 68 years?
Because independence, you are relying on yourself totally.
Yeah, that's self-reliance.
You don't go and rely on other countries for help. But you have the money to celebrate independence. But when it comes to national issues, then you go outside Ghana to seek for help. This is like begging. We are seeking of alms.
Okay. So the aim of the previous governments for moving the Independence Day celebration from region to region was simply because they wanted other regions, those that wouldn't be able to come to Accra to have a look or maybe experience how the Independence Day celebration is, to also have a feel of how it's being done. But if this is causing crisis, is part of our economic crisis, then do you think that's a good thing the president has done by taking it to the Jubilee House, where, because we are all Ghanaians, and then we should all experience how our Independence Day celebration should be like. But here lies the case: he comes in and be like, I'm taking it to the Jubilee House. If you want to experience how it is, just watch it on TV.
Watch it on TV. Yes. See, there are certain events, no matter what you do, you can't travel out to go and see that event. That is why television is also another medium of communication. But I would applaud our past president for thinking of some people to the extent you need to take the independence celebration out from here to every region. But we should also consider the cost factor of it. If we are a country where we are dependent on ourselves, our economy is stable, everything is going on smoothly, we are not now developing, we are already a developed country, I feel there's no issue with that. But this is a case where we need money to complete certain projects. We need money to complete certain initiatives set up by that government. But rather, that money is used to what? Celebrate independence every year. So the infant is say we've celebrated within Akufado's regime, like 8 years.
Yeah.
We've celebrated independence 8 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
8
So let's say we wouldn't celebrate that independence 8 years, and the money used every year. Let's say either 10 million Ghana cedis, 15, 30. Let us bring that money together. You think that money wouldn't be enough to settle certain debts and also complete certain projects?
Well, I was even thinking that on every Independence Day, maybe the money that we can use to do the celebration, that money should be dedicated to a particular project. Maybe you want to build like maybe a particular school for this community, so that you can write maybe on the board that on paper that on the 68th Independence Day, this is what
we dedicated to the country.
At least I think that will go a long way too. But as a country, it's Independence Day. I think we need to assess ourselves. What have we been able to achieve as a country so far? We claim we are independent, but are we really independent? That's the question we should be asking ourselves all the time. Are we really independent? Assess ourselves as a country. What have we been able to achieve so far as a country? And look for a way forward. So Independence Day celebration day, it shouldn't be just celebration, but we should self-check ourselves as a country. Find a problem. Okay, this is a problem we have rectified. So this is what we are going to do to get better. But here lies the case. Every day they come, make promises, speak big grammar, and at the end of the day, we end up not achieving anything. And Independence Day, we all like it's
like you celebrating your birthday. Every year you celebrate your birthday without any achievement,
no self-growth,
nothing. And every year now to party
then what's the essence of
what's the essence?
What's the essence of you celebrating your birthday if you are not improving yourself, if you are not working on yourself, if you are not growing? Then what's the essence?
And every day, even every year for your birthday, you still ask people for money. Say, oh, I need money to celebrate this my birthday. Send me Momo, send me this without any growth.
Wow. I think we have a long way to go as a country. We need to sit and assess ourselves as a country and grow and look for ways and measures we can improve ourselves and work on ourselves as a country. And I think with that, we are getting closer to solving majority of our problems. So moving on to the next headline. Gender Ministry terminates contracts of school feeding coordinators. The Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection has terminated the contract of all regional and zonal coordinators under the Ghana School Feeding Program with immediate effect. No official reason was provided for the sudden termination. In a statement issued on March 4th, Gender Minister Dr. Agnes Namomo-Latte announced the decision, expressing gratitude to the affected coordinators for their service. Part of the statement read, "Please be informed that the contracts of all regional and zonal coordinators of the Ghana School Feeding Program are hereby terminated with immediate effect." No reason was provided for this sudden termination of. Is it that what the minority said with regards to John Dramani Mahama's terminator one? Is it taking an effect? Because you can't terminate my contract without giving me a valid reason. At least you should have communicated to them. This is the why won't they call us? Why won't they call them Terminator One and then they are being unfair and undemocratic? Do you think they are being fair?
Okay, so my honest opinion, and let's look at this from the logical aspect. First of all, I would say that this is a drastic measure they took. I always say that certain measures we humans we take, it wouldn't be in favor of certain people, but rather at the end it would favor us all. And secondly, with them not being given any official reason for the termination is bad, because these people are working on a contract base, and as to why their contract is being terminated, they are humans, and they need to be given a very valid reason as to why their contract has been terminated. Fine, the school feeding program is not going on well, but still, these people, sometimes teachers will come out to say they use their own money to go as far as feeding these kids. These people are not just caterers. They are mothers as well.
People's
yes,
parents.
they are mothers as well.
They have a family to feed.
They have a family to feed. They have needs to take care of. So with the gender minister, I feel that she should come out and
communicate with them.
First of all, render an apology. And secondly, communicate properly. Because you can't be in an organization where communication is poor. You just wake up and say, get out, you are fired. Without any reason. You understand?
Yeah.
And also with the school feeding program, it has faced a lot of challenges, and we all know that, including funding delays, corruption allegations, and unpaid arrears to caterers. So with the termination, I feel all these are a contributing factor as to why, related to the termination of the coordinator's contract. But even if it's that, come out, state categorically, this and this and this is the main reason why we are terminating your contract. Because you have the mandate, because you have the willpower in your hands, doesn't mean that you just wake up and terminate anyone's contract just like that. That is why the name comes in, Terminator 1. All you do is terminate people without any valid reason. For the recruitment people, we know that these people, even though there's no evidence, but we know that these people were recruited in, should I say, in an illegal way, backdated documents and all that. For that, it's to assume it's fair enough that these people were sacked. But with the school feeding program, we all know the challenges they went through. They are adding, should I say, salt even to their injury. I wouldn't be surprised if very soon these people come out to demonstrate. Yeah.
And I think that's very bad. Like what you said, that the minister has to come out, render an apology, and tell people this is the reason we are terminating your contract. If maybe the government cannot pay you any longer, tell them. But before you even terminate someone's contract, are you not supposed to pre-inform the person?
And
the person will be looking for a job.
And I believe in every contract you should be notified either 2 weeks ahead or 1 month ahead or something. And from what I'm hearing, these people will hand over their power to their predecessors. So does it mean they are trying to say that these current people are incompetent? They don't know what they are doing.
But here lies the case. You are telling us that you'll be creating jobs and people will be working for 24 hours. And then you are terminating people's contracts. Hey, it's across, so.
Yeah.
All regional and zonal coordinators.
Yeah. And also all
region.
And the school feeding program will continue its operations uninterrupted, and that new measures will be implemented to improve the program's efficiency and long-term sustainability. So any education you have for the new people you are employing, why don't you render that help to the old ones? Make them better. If you feel that they are slacking or lacking in any way, why don't you make them better to continue with this initiative?
My problem is they are saying that school is going to go on uninterrupted, and then measures will be put in place. So meaning they haven't even put measures in place, and then you have terminated the contract of people.
It's sad.
Like, you won't look for a solution for the problem. before the problem comes running to you. That is so unserious. Seriously, that is so unserious. If that is what they did, then that is so unserious. You won't look for the measures down before you sack them. School will go on uninterruptedly. We are here. So moving on to our next headline. Inflation for February eases marginally to 23.1% on falling food prices. Ghana's inflation rate eased to 23.1% in February 2025, down from 23.5% in January, marking the second consecutive decline. The drop was driven by falling food prices, with food inflation at 28.1% and the non-food inflation steady at 18.8%. The Upper West region recorded the highest inflation, which is 35.5%, while the Volta region had the lowest, which is 18.8%. So according to government statistician Professor Samuel Kobna Enim, food inflation has consistently declined over the past 4 months. Analysts suggest this downward trend could prompt the Bank of Ghana to consider a policy rate cut to support economic growth. So there has been a decrease in inflation from 23.5% to 23.1%, and this is as a result of falling food prices. And Western region was recorded at the highest inflation with 35.5%, whilst Volta region had the lowest with 18.8%. If this inflation is as a result is driven by falling food prices, are they trying to tell us that foodstuffs are less expensive in Volta region?
Yeah, so if the inflation has fallen there, definitely. In fact, in this region, especially Volta region, I wouldn't say Kumasi, but Volta region, sometimes Kufurija and certain places, their things are not really that expensive. So looking at now that the inflation has fallen, there definitely things are very cheaper. Because you can even buy fish, 5 cedis there, and it's a lot. Accra here, when you buy fish 5 cedis, your mom sells fish. How many? And also 1, 2, 3 is a lot.
It's a lot.
But some people are really underrating inflation. People are really underrating inflation because inflation really has a lot to say about our economy. When we have a stabilized economy, there's no way we would, have an inflation. We are not an economist, but at least they are doing everything.
Yeah, but I think the rise in inflation is due to more imports than exports. If you import more than you export, then inflation will go up.
And then the imports, there's many. Because even with your glasses, people are even importing these glasses.
Yeah. So I think that's a good news.
Yeah.
People are saying that Mahama is working. Do you think he's working?
I better go. He's working. He's working. Just an honest, a harmless question.
Do you think
he's working? He's working. Just how many days in government? He's working.
Close to 60 days in government. And then inflation has already
no one should come from you. And even petrol has also reduced.
Yeah, petrol has also reduced.
And now he has cut down costs on our celebration.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah. But I'm...
producer is saying rent is killing us. With the rent issue there, that has to do with the landlord and the rent control. The government can't do anything.
But I believe they have a say.
The only thing the government can do is to regulate the directive. Says 6 months.
The policy.
6 months. If you don't take 6 months, you'll be arrested. Aside that,
or maybe fined or maybe punished.
Yeah.
So Mahama is working, please. But I'm getting tired of their talks. Seriously,
they talk too much.
They are talking too much, and I feel they are creating too much committee. The committees are becoming too much. We should
give them another name. Oh.
They were named terminator, one for terminating people's contracts. And now the committee, government back committee
bebree. That's what I wanted to say. Who even said it? Is it Opon Nkrumah? Kojo Opon Nkrumah, he said that government back or committee bebree,
which has to do with the 24-hour economy. And then they are saying that the definitions for this 24-hour initiative
it's
too much. Well, they are still in the early days, and we don't want it to be as if when you're in a relationship, they are giving you special treatment. Please, it should continue like that, and then we will be happy as a country. So moving on to our last headline for today. Black Star Experience will target youth employment. Rex Ofosumafo, also known as Rex Mafo, coordinator of the Black Star Experience at the Office of the President, has outlined the program's key objectives, including job creation, youth empowerment, branding, marketing, and investment mobilization. He emphasized collaborations with government institutions such as the Ministry of Youth Development and Tourism to ensure smooth execution. The initiative will also focus on infrastructure projects, attracting private sector investment through public-private partnerships. The Black Star Experience, a flagship NDC program, aims to redefine Ghana's cultural identity, boost tourism, and create jobs through year-round celebration across arts, entertainment, and education. So this is Black Star Experience, and you're saying it will target youth empowerment. But I want to ask, how is it going to empower the youth with regards to what Rex Omar is saying?
Okay, so as he said, it would create job employment. The one thing I'm happy about is the job employment, because me like this, I need job. Having one job wouldn't help you, wouldn't sustain you. Looking at our economy now. So with this, as the Black Star Experience is a unique and immersive experience that showcases Ghanaian culture, history, and hospitality. The last time someone was saying that the year in return they brought, which impacts did it really have in our country? I believe you've been to such programs before. How educative was this program? What impact did it have on our society? What job creation did it bring?
Well, I think it did.
It did?
Yeah, for the job creation, the content creators, the photographers, the videographers. Because when these people come to Ghana, they want to see how beautiful our country is. They want to tour from region to region to see some historic places we have here. So with that, they move with videographers and then the photographers as well. And for the content creators, they also get to create content for these historical places. So I think with that, for the job creation, it has fulfilled that.
Okay. And also with the branding, they should brand it to the extent that it would be, should I say, appetizing to the outsiders. Because if you are bringing up an initiative and you are not implementing measures to make it appealing to other people, there's no way they would even show interest. And when they show interest in this initiative, it comes with the investment. They invest for other people to also take benefits from.
Wow, that's nice. So if that is coming from Rex Omar, then I think that's a good thing. So this is where we draw the curtains for our news headlines review. Thank you for joining us. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Bless.
Okay, so thank you for joining me live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show for Today in History and Did You Know? So today in history, as we all know, 6th March 1957, Kwame Nkrumah declared to the people of Ghana about their freedom. He added that the African people are capable of managing their own affairs, and Ghana, our beloved country, is free forever. Ghana was the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to achieve its independence from European colony. Today in history, UN Secretary General Kurt Waldheim arrived in Cape Town to discuss the UN demand that South Africa hand over administration of Namibia, Southwest Africa, to the UN. Today in history, Arab terrorist bomb exploded in the cafeteria of the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. Israeli security forces destroyed 5 Arab houses in East Jerusalem. 1981, today in history, Clovis Grobowski, a convicted child molester, is shot and killed in Lubeck, Germany, by the mother of the girl he strangled and molested. Grobowski had previously agreed to castration to avoid a life sentence. 1990, today in history, a riverboat slams into a cargo ship and sinks near Luctus, Peru, with 209 persons aboard. 134 persons, most of them school children, are missing and presumed drowned. 1940, today in history, 20 British soldiers were killed and 16 taken prisoner in the Mex sector of the French frontier, in which is described as the first British-Germany infantry engagement of the war. Moving to some did you know for today. Did you know that Earth is the only planet whose English name does not derive from Greek or Roman mythology? The name derives from Old English and Germanic. There are, of course, many other names for our planet in other languages, as Mars is the Roman god of war. Did you know that your head contains 22 bones? The skull consists of 22 bones in most adult specimens, which come together via cranial statues. The functions of the skull is both structurally supportive and protective. The skull will harden and fuse through development to protect its inner contents, the cerebrum, cerebellum, brainstem, and orbit. Did you know that your mouth produces 1 liter of saliva a day? If you are an adult, your salivary glands produce about 22 liters of saliva every day. If you collected your saliva for 1 year, you could fill a bath tube with it. During the average lifetime, your saliva glands will produce over 23,000 liters of saliva. Automatically, your saliva is 99% of water. Did you also know that you begin to feel thirsty when your body loses 1% of water? When you lose body fluid equivalent to just 2% of your body weight, you feel thirsty and your body's ability to perform starts to fall. When you lose 3%, you get very and extremely thirsty and experience symptoms such as feeling faint and suffering a loss of appetite. Did you also know that wine is sold in a tinted bottle because it spoils when exposed to light? Wine is deteriorating and light radiation accelerates such efforts, along with high temperature and extreme temperature variation. Brown glass bottles reduce the amount of light reaching the wine, reducing this effect, so wine which is expected to be kept longer is put into darker bottles than lighter bottles. And that's a wrap on Today in History And did you know?
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless. Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for today in history. And did you know? Wow, if our saliva was collected for a year,
it would feel a lot.
A lot. So what do you think? Should we venture into a business?
Saliva business.
Should we venture into a business to collect them, sell them?
Oh yes.
But on bedding.
On the bedding.
Yes, I just saw something. Explosion at Konongo mining shops kills one and several injured. Another explosion.
Konongo.
Yeah, Konongo. That's in Kumasi. One person
is it a mining site?
Yeah, it's a mining site. So one person has been confirmed dead and several others, including firefighters, have sustained injuries following an explosion at shops selling mining explosives in Odumase near Konongo in the Asante Achim Central Municipality of the Asante region.
A shop selling explosives.
Mining explosives.
Wow. Did they say the cause? What happened? Nothing.
No.
You know, always when there's an explosion or when there's a fire outbreak, we would never know the cause. All they say is investigation is underway, but nothing.
We don't see anything.
We don't see anything. I feel that they should find the root cause of these things. The last time I said the Ghana National Fire Service should go around, even if it's all 16 regions, to educate people on how to keep these things. They can't always I'm not saying they can't do their jobs or it's not mandatory for them to be around these places when there's fire outbreaks, but sometimes this fire starts as like little, just a little. But also I would blame all individuals, because you should have fire extinguisher even in your car, wherever you go to. I'm not saying wherever you go to then you be carrying fire extinguisher. Sometimes you even see a driver no fire extinguisher. The last time a same incident happened at Awish last stop, where a taxi driver, the car was burning, he had no fire extinguisher. Cars passing by had to stop to render help, each of them bringing out their fire extinguisher to help quench the fire. So if you had the fire extinguisher as a driver, the moment it started, you could have quenched it. It's a loss to yourself. So with this fire issue, dear, every day there will be fire.
Madam Omari, with the fire cases going on in our country, what can you say about it? Do you think the fire service is not creating much awareness or enough education is not going on? Because this has been a very big issue.
Well, good morning to our beautiful listeners. We're back again on the airwaves. The traffic was smooth today.
It was smooth.
But then, I had a flat tire in the middle of the highway. So.
Oh, sorry.
But we thank God I'm here alive.
Yeah, thank God.
In relation to this fire thing, it's interesting. Some of the things that when you speak to the fire experts, they can tell you could cause a fire outbreak. You'll be marveled. Last week or so, there was a news outlet that a fire outbreak that happened in somewhere in the eastern region was caused by cobwebs or something.
Cobwebs?
Yes. Cobwebs, yeah.
How is that possible?
Exactly.
Cobwebs?
Yeah, cobwebs.
That
was the report.
Is there another cobwebs? Or
the cobwebs we know.
Why does cobwebs catch fire?
So it's I don't know. In regards to education, from where we sit, it seems it hasn't really been that loud on educating people about all these fire thing and all that. And secondly, they themselves, the fire service, have an issue They said the last time they received any cushioning in terms of materials to fight fire, it's about over 10 years ago. That was the last time they received something. So they are always pleading with private sectors to support them. Meanwhile, we have a government.
What are they even doing about it?
We have a government who can actually spend $11 million on furnitures. I mean, what sort of furnitures is that? Whilst we don't have equipment to fight fire. So it goes a long way. It goes a long way. You see, sometimes when you complain for a long time, you just give up. So the fire service have done their bit. Government should step in. That's all I will say.
Oh, okay. Fire service have done their best. Government should also step in. With regards to what you said about the furniture.
Yeah.
I saw the figures yesterday and I was like, hey, this bad is serious.
See.
11 million.
And we still
not
have
even Ghana citizens.
we still have some that haven't been disclosed yet.
But do you think that's a priority?
To them, yes. To them, yes.
It is a want, not a priority.
Exactly.
So are you trying to tell me that Oko Kroma onya furniture?
La Pasca, Obenya Biblio.
Ah,
Top notch.
I mean,
They won't buy it in Ghana here.
my people.
They'll bring it out.
they won't bring it from anywhere.
Akonya keke mete.
And the price is never 11 million.
$11 million.
It's never 11 million.
Not Ghana citizens.
Yem fa pen ne pepa nto. Mhwe se bedu.
Andrew. And Exie, I don't know, this story was making headlines yesterday, Pam, because it happened, should I say, last month, about Rollins' daughter.
Yay.
Now, Speaker of Parliament has come in to this issue to give an ultimatum to the, should I say, corporate, that he should come out to render an apology before it's too late. And some people are saying this is not an issue you should even bother about. We have more pressing issues to bother.
Oh, really? It's an issue that needs to be. I mean, in Parliament, not just anywhere.
Yeah.
These people don't really deserve to be called honorable. And all these theatrics by the speaker, really, when we have cameras there, when we have a certain cabinet, suspend your winner. What are they doing?
Yeah, they know.
What are we doing?
The person, then they can request for the CCTV.
What are we doing?
I feel wants the person to come out by the free will.
How?
But if he or she, obviously he doesn't come out, then they release the
force to be applied. And now people to do not take it lightly.
How long has it been?
Oh, I think almost a month.
And we are still playing around this, giving ultimatums.
It wasn't even the news until Speaker of Parliament came out to say it. And some of the to demonstrate about it.
They need to sanitize that Parliament House. We need sanitization. These things is what boils down right from the top, then it gets to the bottom. And so you see that, look at what they are doing in Parliament, and then you go to some constituency committees, the same thing is happening there. We are talking about leadership here, leaders.
It's sad. Very, very. So is Zanetta also saying that she doesn't know the person who said it because she was also in Parliament that day, or she's been spoken to backdoor? Do you think she's been
if you've been spoken to her, then close stop the noise around it.
Then tell people to because I believe if she come out to tell them not to bother about it,
or maybe she's a lady with few words. That's how I see it.
But even that's my dad you're insulting. But
it's not just people. Your dad. That's our former president. You can't call him a murderer and go scot-free.
And I'm even surprised that soldier men are not even, the military are not even doing anything, because he was once in the military as well.
See, military only acts upon orders until you order. So a military can be here with a gun and whatsoever, and something will happen. If he is not being commanded, he won't interfere.
That's sad. That's sad. Whoever that made that comment, just come out.
They won't.
They should just come out. Because these people, if they take you away. So, today is Independence Day.
Yeah.
What are your expectations?
Today?
Yes, today.
Well, I'm just expecting government, the presidency, to be specific. They've cut down costs.
Yeah.
So how much did they cut? This is the tangible figure we cut from the expenditure of the 6th March celebration. It's $100,000. We are putting it to buy a dialysis machine for these two hospitals. That's what I'm expecting from them.
Like I said, those monies.
We should see what they do with it. You can't just say you've cut down costs. So that balance sheet, what is it going to serve?
So the rest of the money, we want to see it working. But do you think bringing the Independence Day celebration to the Jubilee House has lost its significance?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Independence is how we live as a country. It's not how we celebrate it. The celebration is in the living. Every day is our independence. Right from the 1957 6th March was our independence. 7th March, independence. 8th March, every day. But how are we living independently? Are we still borrowing? Are we still importing stuff from other people? Are we still relying on US aids? Are we really independent?
So you think this is a time for us to sit down as a country and self-assess ourselves?
Exactly.
Are we even independent? This morning we were having a discussion where we were suggesting that why not they stop celebrating independence, like make a big celebration out of it. So every year the money you are supposed to allocate for the celebration of the Independence Day, that money is allocated to a specific project.
Yeah, I think we can celebrate it without all this unnecessary cost bearing. The celebration,
the flyer and all that.
I mean, the celebration, well, no problem with that. The cost is where the problem is. So cut the cost, put it into something. Let's see what you are putting it into. That will make sense.
That will make sense. I think that will help us. Yeah. Do you have something to say, Miss Regina? The way I'm laughing. So, this is where we draw the curtains for our program this morning. Right after the news at 8 a.m., we'll be coming up with a discussion with some insightful guests, hosted by Omari and myself. Please stay for the news at 8 a.m. What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
The black man This is GhanaTalks Radio, the best station rocking the nation.
Now I want you all, those who have hats on, to take off your hats. At long last, the battle has ended. And thus, Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. From now on, there is a new African in the world. That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. Now I want you all, those who have hats on, to take off your hats and let the band play our national anthem. And from now on, that national anthem is the national anthem of the Gogo to be played on all occasions.
Ghana's independence ignited a wave of freedom across Africa. It was a moment of triumph, a bold step towards self-determination. But that was not just about breaking free. It was about building, adapting, and striving for the best. As we commemorate this milestone, we pause to reflect on our journey, review our progress and challenges, and reset our vision for Ghana's growth and development.
This day will never be forgotten. The 6th of March 1957, when the Gold Coast successfully get their independence official.
Every great nation has a beginning. Ghana's fight was for dignity, unity, and self-rule.
It was the first of its kind ever. We've been a colony till 57, and we were under the total guidance of the British. We used to do Empire Days to celebrate the special days of the Crown of Britain. Till 57, when at independence, we started doing our own things. So you could imagine, if you could think back then, that it was such a new experience altogether. And as you would know, Ghana was the first in all of sub-Saharan Africa to have become independent. And so, in a way, we were the pioneering nation of much of Africa in terms of breaking out of colonialism into independent states. So it was very exciting, especially for students and young people.
Ghana's independence, as we all know, was a great event. It inspired a lot of hope on the continent, in our immediate neighborhood. We were a relatively small country, but I think that in terms of our influence, it is completely out of proportion to our size. And independence actually was one of the reasons, being the forerunner on the continent, and there's that place. And we inspired a lot of hope. This became a pilgrimage for a lot of Africans in Africa and outside of the continent. So we got visitors from the African American community, Malcolm X, Maya Angelou, W.E.B. Du Bois. They were all coming here for inspiration. So we did inspire a lot of hope for the liberation of the continent, but of black people everywhere. And the civil rights movement, it's important to state, happened just around the same time. So at the same time that we got our liberation from colonialism, that's when African Americans were also getting liberated and fighting for liberation in the US. So all of those things, I think, drew a lot of inspiration from Ghana.
There's no doubt at all that Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who led the struggle for national independence, became the inspirer of the national liberation movements throughout Africa and even the world. And Ghana
Good morning and welcome to the Daybreak News on GhanaTalks Radio. Coming up, Independence Day budgets cut by 90%. Kwachi Ofosu. There are less than 60 political appointees at presidency. Kwachi Ofosu. Comply with safety rules or face legal action. Ghana National Fire Service warns. An explosion at Konongo mining shops kills one, several injured. This business, sports and showbiz is coming in this morning's bulletin. The news will be read by Awentemi Akansukum. Now let's settle for the details. The Minister of State in charge of government communications, Felix Kwachi Ofosu, has announced that this year's 68th Independence Day celebration will cost only a tenth of the amount spent last year. The scaled-down event, set to take place at Jubilee House March 6th, reflects the government's commitment to fiscal prudence while preserving the significance of the occasion. Speaking on preparations, Kwachi Ofosu explained that the event has been significantly streamlined to reduce costs. In the past, there were 60 contingents made up of 60 men and women each, so we are talking close to 3,600 men and women and thousands of children who march. Now, everything has been scaled down to a little over 500 people. That includes both security personnel and school children who will be performing. This is to ensure that we do not incur the kind of cost we did in the past. I can reveal to you that the celebrations to be held here Thursday will cost a tenth of what it took to host this event in Koforidua last year. That event cost 15 million cedis, and what would be held here today will cost a tenth of that, he stated. Kwachi Ofosu further clarified that reducing the scale of the event does not diminish its importance. The scaled-down event in no way undermines the significance of the day. The Independence Day celebration is one that President Mahama takes very seriously. He believes it must be celebrated, but in a manner that allows us to make savings that can be redirected into other areas of expenditure, he stated. Now, Minister of State in charge of government communications, Felix Kwachi Ofosu, has told Parliament that there are currently fewer than 60 presidential staffers working at the presidency, alongside fewer than 60 ministers and deputy ministers. According to Felix Kwachi Ofosu, the president is committed to cutting frivolous expenditure. He insisted that the president would uphold his promise to appoint no more than 60 ministers and will not come close to the 337 political appointees under former President Akufo-Addo. If you move from 123 to 125 ministers to 60 ministers, Mr. Speaker, that means that you are going to buy 60 less Land Cruisers, you are going to buy 60 less saloon cars, you will need to provide 60 less bungalows, you will need to provide 60 less sets of political aid and research assistants and what have you. Mr. Speaker, President Mahama has not limited himself to just reducing the number of ministers. In any event that I speak to you, there are only 56 ministers, and in fact, there are 42 ministers running Ghana as we speak because deputy ministers have not been approved, he said. But also contributing to the debate on the floor was former Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abujinapo. He claimed that President Mahama has truly appointed less than 60 ministers, but has packed the Jubilee House with so many staffers. Now, the Ghana National Fire Service, GNFS, has issued a strong warning to institutions that fail to comply with fire safety regulations, threatening legal action against violators. As part of efforts to reduce fire-related incidents, the service is set to launch an intensive enforcement and compliance exercise across both private and public facilities in the Eastern region. Speaking to City News Wednesday, March 6th, at the maiden Fire Safety Award ceremony, where institutions were recognized for adhering to fire safety measures, Eastern Regional Fire Service Commander ACFO Timothy Osafo Efum emphasized the need for stricter enforcement. We always look for innovations, and we have realized that a lot of people are not complying with the regulations. One approach is awarding institutions that meet safety regulations as we do today. The second phase would enforce and comply, he stated. He urged institutions to take proactive steps to comply with fire safety laws, cautioning that after a few months of grace, the service will take firm action against defaulters. Now, one person has been confirmed dead and several others, including firefighters, have sustained injuries following an explosion at shops selling mining explosives in Edumase near Konongo in the Ashanti Achim Central Municipality of the Ashanti region. The fire reportedly started at one of the shops where dynamite and other explosives used by local miners are sold, triggering a powerful blast that destroyed buildings and left multiple people injured. Although the exact cause of the explosion remains unknown, authorities have confirmed the death of a resident. Firefighters deployed to contain the blaze also suffered injuries, while some victims reportedly had parts of their bodies dismembered. The explosion occurred just a few meters away from a fuel station, raising further safety concerns in the area. To business, traders are lamenting the rising cost of foodstuffs, citing multiple economic factors such as high labor costs and expenses, including transporting goods from farms and rural areas. Despite a general slowdown in inflation for January 2025, food inflation remains a major concern, increasing to 28.3% from 27.8% in December 2024. While the recent reduction in fuel prices has offered some relief, traders argue that the overall cost of doing business in the food sector remains high. Transportation costs, influenced by fuel prices, significantly contribute to the final pricing of foodstuffs in urban markets. Additionally, labor costs in the agricultural sector continue to rise, further adding to the price pressures on food. Some oil marketing companies have begun marginally reducing fuel prices at the pump following the start of the first pricing window in March. This marks the second consecutive reduction after 3 successive price highs earlier this year. Total Energies has led the latest adjustment, lowering the price of both petrol and diesel from 15 cedis 99 pesos in the second pricing window of February to 15 cedis 79 pesos per liter in the first pricing window of March. Shell has also adjusted its fuel prices downward for the first pricing window of March. The price of petrol has been reduced from 15 cedis 89 pesos per liter in the second pricing window of February to 15 cedis 72 pesos per litre. Similarly, diesel now sells at 15 cedis 77 pesos, down from the 15 cedis 99 per litre in the previous pricing window. Despite this downward trend in fuel prices, traders insist that structural challenges continue to exert upward pressure on food prices. Straight to some sports, club licensing manager of the Ghana Football Association GFA, Esme Mertz, have highlighted security concerns regarding the absence of designated safe zones at the University of Ghana Stadium and the Babayara Sports Stadium, with just 2 days to the highly anticipated return of the 2024-2025 Ghana Premier League. Men's emphasized key areas that require attention, including the state of the playing field, the presence of inner parameters, fencing or barrier systems, minimum seating capacity, dressing rooms, external walling, and safe entry and exit point. Despite these concerns, he reassured fans and stakeholders that the outstanding issues are not major enough to prevent matches from taking place at the venue. Speaking exclusively to Channel 1 Sports, Men's urged clubs to address the final requirement swiftly to ensure a smooth and secure league kick-off. Security concerns have been raised at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium and the Babayara Sports Stadium. An on-site inspection would be conducted to evaluate the extensiveness of proposed solutions and provide further recommendations. Meanwhile, 3 other venues, Winchi Sports Stadium, AAK Second Amping, and Golden City Park, are facing both technical and security challenges. These venues require repairs and renovation and have therefore been deemed unapproved until a re-inspection is conducted. To some showbiz, Rex Owusu-Mafo, coordinator of the Black Star Experience at the Office of the President, has outlined some objectives of his secretariat. Speaking to Kwame Datsi on Joy FM Showbiz, Rex Omar, as he is popularly known in music circles, said he will collaborate with various government institutions to achieve the aim of the Black Star Experience program. Among some of the focal points in their strategy is job creation and youth empowerment. He also indicated that some of the projects that fall under the Black Star Experience are infrastructural, so they would be responsible in mobilizing events, liaise with private investors who would partner the Secretariat through public-private partnership. The Black Star Experience is the NDC's flagship culture, art and tourism brand to redefine and affirm our Ghanaian identity, attract investment, create new jobs, and increase tourism. It will undertake a year-round celebration in all the major entertainment, artistic, and educational disciplines. And that's it with the Daybreak News on Ghana Talks Radio. Log on to www.GhanaTalksRadio.com for more of these stories. The news was read by Awentemi Akansukumase. Thanks so much for making time. Good morning.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi keshito.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bliss,
Deborah Adosu,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
At long ended. And thus, Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. From now on, there is a new African in the world. That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. Now I want you all, those who have hats on, to take off your hats and let the band play our national anthem. And from now on, that national anthem is the national anthem of the Gogo to be played on all occasions. Has ended. And thus, Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. From now on, there is a new African in the world. That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. Now I want you all, those who have hats on, to take off your hats and let the band play our national anthem. And from now on, that national anthem is the national anthem of the Gogo to be played on all occasions. Has ended. And thus, Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever.
Ghana, your beloved country is free forever. That was from the first president of Ghana, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Good morning once again on Ghana Talks Radio. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, the independent edition. And this morning we will be having a discussion on how far Ghana has come as an independent country. We will be talking to some of the most insightful brains we have in Ghana regarding these topics. We will go on the line very soon to speak to Professor Ebenezer Ayesu. He's a historian and Dean of Students at the Heritage Christian University. And also we will go and speak to Mr. Samuel Oseipoku. He is a lecturer at Kesben University College. Essie,
yes,
I can see you in your Ghanaian uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll call it a Ghanaian uniform.
Oh, uniform. Ghana is celebrating birthday.
Ghana is celebrating his birthday. Well,
today is Ghana birthday.
Ghana birthday. The face, the country, the this, the that. Hey, I saw someone's own. He's done there. I was shocked.
Why? How was
he posted the Ghana flag
and
another political party's flag and was like, the country, the problem.
Hey.
Happy Independence wherever you are this morning. Join us on the conversation on our social media platforms at Ghana Talks Radio. You can also join through our WhatsApp line 0202 544 614 0202 544 614. You can also join through our WhatsApp www.GhanaTalksRadio.com www.GhanaTalksRadio.com. This morning's discussion is going to be very, very, very educative.
Wow.
Very intriguing and very insightful.
Yes.
And we have a surprise guest joining us this morning.
Who is that?
He's a surprise guest. All the way from Ghana Talks Radio's management, top management.
Oh, really?
Yeah, today, my manager is joining me on the discussion. He loves Ghana past everything.
Oh, sad.
Hey! What we say about show no so that. But I never Ghana when they say ne.
Was he born in March?
Ne vacation and ko wako so mukra na we twem na waba.
Oh.
And we have in the studios with me Papa Kwesi Abaka, the manager, the operations manager of Ghana Talks Radio. Baba. Papa me ma watching and now no pay. Oh, Dogana rough.
So we are all proud Ghanaians.
Yes.
You should be proud as a Ghanaian. At least some people don't have it like we have. You go to other nations, especially our neighboring countries, people are suffering. People have been in civil war for years, but 32 plus years of the Fourth Republic, we've enjoyed stable governance and democracy. So we can only be proud as Ghanaian. The only thing that, the most significant thing that we can be proud of is the peace that we continue to enjoy, the great hospitality, our food, our culture. That makes us proud Ghanaians.
Yeah.
These are things that a lot of countries on the continent lack, and people are envious of Ghana because of some of these things. And these are very key indicators when you look at the UN key indications for growth in a country, especially when we talk about peace, stability, and those kind of things. Peace is very, very paramount in everything that we do, because without peace, you are not getting the investment that you seek to your country, and without investment, you are not getting the development that you want for your country. So far as we've been enjoying peace since 1992, we can only be proud that for that long period, we've enjoyed stability, and we thank each and every one. We should just be proud of ourselves, because no one, even though sometimes we have this tribal issues here and there, chieftaincy issues, but it has never escalated to the fact that we've seen civil war in the last 32 years. So we can only be grateful to God that for this Fourth Republic we've had, this is the longest republic that we've had since independence. The Fourth Republic is the longest republic that we've had since independence. The first one, which Nkrumah started, lasted less than 10 years when Nkrumah was ousted by Kutuka. The second one, Buzia, was less than 6 years. The third one, Liman, less than 4 years. So this is the longest period that we've enjoyed as a republic, and we can only be thankful to God and the leaders, the successive governments, for how they've steered the affairs of the nations. Yes, we might not be proud with the kind of development that we've seen, but hey, I say that whoever traveled out of Ghana, say 2010, 2012, when he returns today, he will be marveled at the extent of development that we've seen. 2010, we didn't have Terminal 3. Even as at 2015, we didn't have Terminal 3 there. So whoever is coming to Ghana for who left Ghana like the past 15 years, when he comes to Ghana, the first thing that he sees is Terminal 3. We're like, oh wow, Terminal 3. We didn't have the signature apartments. We didn't have all those apartments around the airport residences. So when you come, at least you see that we've had some significant improvements with our landscape in terms of development. So yes, we should be proud of ourselves.
Okay, but before we move on to the phone lines to speak to Professor Yensu, you mentioned that one of the things that drives, one of the indicators which identifies the growth of a country as peace. But do you think this has really corresponded with our development as a country for this much long that we've enjoyed the peace? Because listing the things that you just listed, that the Terminal 3, when someone is coming, they will see the signature apartment, this and that.
Yeah.
These are just surfaces of what you see especially in Accra alone. Let's go into the inlands. Do we see any much developments there that corresponds at least to this much long that we've had no violent distractions as a country, that we could have really utilized it to make something out of the country?
Yeah, last year I was traveling with independent presidential candidate, and he was constantly saying that for 32 years, it took China 32 years to move from a low income or a low economy to become a first class economy.
Okay.
But for 32 years, with stability, peace, and everything that we've enjoyed, we've not seen that significant progress.
Yeah.
And I was also telling him, yes, every nation and their way of developing. China, with every resources that they have, the manpower. China is the largest populated nation in the world, so they have manpower. When it comes to manpower, you can't do with China. So, and they have technology to move at a pace that we can. Some of the things that most of the Western world have done, like 20, 30 years ago, that is what we are trying to do as a country. We've moved at a slower pace because of priority, leadership priority. It's about leadership. Because I always say that when a leader comes to power and they say, oh, I want to build, say, a dam, a hydro dam, and the leader is focused to build a hydro dam, within 4 years, that leader would build a hydro dam. Because that is the priority that leader has set for himself.
Okay.
Look at the past government. When he came and he said, my priority is to do free SHS. Right at the beginning of his term now, he started free SHS, whether he had the money or not, because he had prioritized it. A next government will also come, oh, this is my priority. So it's a matter of priority. The last time, one of our guests was saying that we need a blueprint, a national development blueprint, that whoever comes to the affairs of the country, whoever becomes the president, will come and say, oh, in the next 20 years, Ghana, this is what we want to achieve. So when you come, oh, in the next 20 years, Ghana, we need to get a railway from Accra to Paga. So when you come and you think that you will channel all the resources of the country within your tenure to do the railway, you do it.
Okay.
So the best that you can. So when the next government comes in, he also feels that he needs to continue. He continues from where you stopped.
Okay.
So it's a matter of priority. It's a matter of priority for our leadership, and that is what has been slowing our progress. And I believe that going forward, when we properly prioritize things and we have a national development agenda, that we will shift from using party manifestos to govern. And I say that the presidential candidate that I spoke to, he was like, everything that you need to do as a president is in the chapter 6 of the Constitution. Chapter 6 of the Constitution stipulates everything that you need to do. It tells you how to govern the country, how to share our resources, how to develop and stuff. But because we are that's democratic and we are party aligned, everybody wants to come and it's like Charlie NDC buy, you know, or Dubai, Circle Dubai, MPP Dubai, no, abaye finance a pokwasi interchange. So everybody wants to lay claim to what they did because everyone is thinking about the next election. None of the parties that we've had throughout this 32 years, which is virtually MPP and NDC, none of them thinks about development. They only think about the next election. So everything that they do is geared towards winning the next election. This dispensation that we are, everything NDC is going to do is geared towards that we need to win 2028 election.
Okay.
That is our problem.
Okay. Before we move on with Papa, let's go on the lines to speak to Professor Ebenezer Ayesu. He is a historian and Dean of Students at Heritage Christian University. He's off. We're having some interference with the lines of Professor, but we will get him back very soon. So you think that this slow pace of development? Okay, we have Prof on the line. Hello, good morning, sir.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Hello,
yes.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Please, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
We thank God. We welcome you on Ghana Talks Radio. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Today is Independence Day. This is the 68th birthday of the Ghanaian Republic.
Yes.
Yes, and as a historian, we believe that you have that much insight of how things has been run so far in the country. So yes, sir. We will delve into some of the topics that we would want you to educate us on right now. But first of all, 68 years, sir. Has it been a progress or a regress?
I would say it's a mixed bag. Some level of progress.
Okay.
And some retrogression.
Okay. In what ways do you think we have progressed so far after independence?
Yes, if we take the nation,
yes,
see the various important segments, political, social, and economic.
Yeah.
But politically, one of our major achievements is maintain we are still independent, regardless of whatever circumstances we find ourselves in.
Okay.
We are independent. We take our own decisions, and that is one. We also know that right at independence, the Westminster type of administration of the country eventually ended up in a one-state, more or less a dictatorship.
Yeah.
And then we experienced military takeovers and rule, and eventually we are now in a Republican. We are using a constitution, and which we've worked with it in spite of its imperfection and whatever. We worked with it for about 30 years now.
Yeah.
So, looking at the trajectory, obviously we've made progress in that regard.
Okay.
In the economics,
yes,
yes, we started on a good note, and then with a manageable population size.
Okay.
We've now moved, we are into our 30 or so million as a population.
Yes.
We made some gains, set up industries, put in various agricultural programs.
Yes.
We've gone through series of reforming the cocoa production and export.
Yes.
Emphasizing on cocoa because of it having been for so far the longest foreign exchange earner for us.
Yeah.
So that is socially, we have had schools, hospitals, and many others.
Okay.
We've also had multiplicity religious practices,
okay,
belief systems, We've also the mass media catching up with one another through technology. All these, for me, could be seen as some of the progress we've made so far.
Okay. So, there are some concerns with people in regards to the progression of the country, which in their sense they even believe that or they question our independence as a whole, if we are truly independent, in the sense that they see us go and borrow much more than we can even pay for. They see us import almost 70% of the things that we need as a people, as a country. So in that regard, does that really make us independent as we claim to celebrate it?
This question, I wish one of my daughters, Aisha, will be listening. She knows that I have no problem with borrowing. The issue is, what do you use the money you borrow?
Okay.
So, we are not the only country or nation. There are various forms of borrowing. In America and others, they all have borrowing laws, internal mechanism, and what have you. There's nothing wrong.
Yes.
But how we have used those laws is what I think leads people to condemn the practice.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's fine. So, what would you advise in terms of our borrowing and the expenditure of the monies we borrow, so that it wouldn't rather become a burden?
Yes. One, we need to sit down and ask ourselves, what do we need and that we don't have?
Okay.
And for which reason we should go out to borrow. One, we all know that we have the mineral, the resources.
Yes.
What is needed is the capital to process this minerals.
Okay.
At least the first pitch of it.
Yes.
So that we could export it and get more money. Until we do that, we'll always go in for loans, and as we say, money is liquid.
Yes.
The loans that come in will be liquid and will be just flowing as it rains, and what the accounts call inflation passes away.
Okay.
So if we sit down and prioritize that we need to revolutionize our mineral product that we export.
Yes.
By turning them into at least secondary products.
Okay.
And for which, when we sell, we make more money and pay off the loans.
Okay.
We talk about some of the loans, what the economists are telling us. I'm not an economist.
Yes, sir.
But I believe what they are saying is true. Is that some of the loans that are on our necks date back to our post-independence, after independence.
Wow.
We we borrowed in
Yes.
spite of the 105 million pounds the British left us.
Yes, please.
After independence, we borrowed to build the Akufo Dam and others. So if we have prioritized those loans, money that come in, and send them to the needed sectors of the economy, we wouldn't be worse off this time.
Okay.
As we are this time.
Okay. And say, before we move on to the next one, let me ask this. You mentioned our economy's growth earlier on, how we've developed so far economically. We've also seen in recent years that some companies and industries have actually left the shores of Ghana due to some economic challenges. How does that balance with our economical growth as a country?
Yes, you see, what is the world economy is highly competitive, and therefore people look elsewhere for where with little input, they will gain more. They will maximize their profits. Sometimes our the regime, for example, land tenure system, the way people get lands, and then the workforce, taxations here and there, and the Ghanaian mindset.
Okay.
So if black people, I know there are some Ghanaians who have businesses outside the country, and why do they take it out there? There are the factors that drive them to that.
Okay.
So until we address these, obviously, whoever comes today will be in today because of not having the alternate place to go. But that doesn't mean that they're going to be permanently. They'll be exploring. And so when they get the signals, it will go.
No.
They will go out.
Okay.
The way out of bitterness, Ghanaian businessmen are run down. We should serve a notice to the foreigner who has come here that look at what they are doing to their own
people.
So I better look elsewhere.
Yeah.
And that's what, for me, as a layman in terms of economics, I will account for that development. And then there has been a deliberate effort by some Ghanaians to damage the image. They have nothing positive to say about Ghana.
Okay.
Just for these companies to go away. And then, I don't know whether for political points to be or whatever. They are so excited. When you look at them, you listen to the news and you read newspapers about companies leaving, the adjectives, it tells you that even the person writing it, the person talking about it is excited that that company is going.
Wow.
Why? Because his party is ethnic group, member of ethnic group is not in control.
Okay.
Or this man is going to claim credit for it. Therefore, it's good. So that mindset. There have been a number of interventions that, and unfortunately, most of these are spearheaded by educated people. People who have traveled, experienced the outside world, how the economies grow. And they go to the rural areas, to the communities, and spread this poor food. So the companies, knowing all that, obviously go away.
After Papa will run.
Okay. All right. Please, in the studios with me is my co-host Esinam, and she would want to ask a few questions as well.
So you mentioned that there are some factors that drive these companies away. What are some of the factors you think that drive?
Yes, people talk about the tax regime.
Okay.
Tax regime is one. I talked about earlier on, talked about pilfering, and it's something that goes on. I know I live up in town. In the 80s, there was a factory close to my father's bungalow, Femeco, producing pharmaceutical products, drugs.
Wow.
And the rate at which workers pilfered items. I remember one time a lady who we knew, her parents were family friends, came in and just said, could you excuse me when I want to go to the washroom? She came up back with capsules, about 4 containers of it.
Wow.
That keep it there for her.
Wow.
Apparently, my father, the CEO of the company, was my father's friend. So when my father came home, I said, hey, this lady brought this. And my father was furious. And I asked why. He said, any time we have a conversation with this man, and that means the man was lamenting. And so How would this man take his friendship, value the friendship, if his house had become a safe haven for those who far?
Yes.
So he took the medicine to the man. The only thing that he told the man was that for some sociocultural reasons, I'm not going to tell you whoever brought that, but this is an attestation of all that you have been telling me, a confirmation that this goes on. So appropriate is one of those things. And then there's the way we talk about, we imagine and hope that there will be a political calamity comes. The language you say that there will be black pool, there will be this. Unfortunately, one important, not in the sense of positive, but one major development to our politics, our development, the 1979 evolution. People who have read about it know that if Ghanaians are talking about this, we should be very careful. So let's find a way. I know a friend whose boss, a Chinese boss, left this country when they were having the 2000 elections.
Wow.
Because there was the hype that the then government were to exit. There'll be violence. And he said, we keep on doing that in various ways. We do that. And therefore, the business people, those who are in here, will only be thinking about how to get a new place and go.
Okay.
At least salty sweet.
Okay. Oh, all right, sir. We thank you for the submission on these ones. But sir, so far, looking at the successive presidents who have taken over, successive governments, what has been the weight of their contributions to the country's growth?
I must say, before I answer, the premise of my answer is based on the fact that we have had human beings ruling the country, not things.
Okay.
And therefore, each of them had his flaws.
Okay.
Having said that, at independence, there was virtually no visible infrastructure. We needed routes.
Okay.
We had only one harbour, the Takoradi Harbour, built by the British.
Yeah.
We needed to boost exports. So Tema Harbour had to come in. Schools had to come in. Some parts of the country, especially the northern part of the country, was underdeveloped. The level of education was low. Therefore, Kwame Nkrumah, being the first president, had to address all this. The people needed work to do. But in the execution of all this, some unforeseen or some development that were ignored came up. For example, the setting up of factories, industries, area and others.
Yeah.
The issue of raw materials was never factored into the establishment of those industries.
Okay.
The issue of trained personnel, it became more or less job for the boys. And when you set up, you invest heavily into this, and you lack adequate raw materials to keep the companies going. You lack skillful people to run the industries. Obviously, they will not last long.
Okay.
Then, of course, the military coup comes in. Everything ad hoc measures adopted. So that if we are sense coming from that is the military came in as an interventionist.
Okay.
What they did was what was perceived to be wrong, to be putting right policies here and there to correct them, which they were not successful.
Okay.
And we could just cite the time frame within which they worked. Then the second constitutional rule comes in. Back on rural development, expansion, or provision of facilities, especially in our universities, and then a military coup comes and they are taking off.
Okay.
At some point comes in, and to your credit, it just did not adopt what we are seeing, sacking people's servants here and there. He maintained what he came to make, worked with them, and by the third year of his reign, have become successful. And so far, at some point, government is the only government whose agricultural policy succeeded.
Wow.
Because you see yourself.
Wow.
He also thought of remedying the shortfall of Kwame Nkrumah's industrialization. So after President yourself, which was more into crop production, came up with Operation Senior Industries. That is not succeed because in the course of it, he has shifted focus, concentrating on how best he becomes a vice president of Ghana. He was a member to the position and he left the scene. Then the ugliest of the revolution in 1979, ugliest in terms of human suffering, in terms of seizure of properties of indigenous Ghanaians, some illiterates who have worked to establish factories and then taking. That's one of the things. So people who read Ghana's history today and then start coming to Ghana, reading Ghana's history of 1979, will be saying, let me be very careful. So that is it. Then we come to the Fourth Republic. Of course, it was also done by someone who came to the political scene through the barrel of the gun. But even though I argue that the 1992 Constitution was made for him, the various checks and whatever that was put in the Constitution helped him to stay in for the 8 years for the benefit of the country, because at least we had our peace. At least we no longer had soldiers addressing women and claiming them publicly and so on and so forth. He also came with one important intervention, the VAT, the tax system. It was unpopular at the time, but eventually it passed. He also came with the debt fund, whereby that established funding for provide basically infrastructure and other logistics for the education, not system of the country. He, after his 8 years, the next government, which is Kufuor, will come and think about opening up. Think about the health of the people who have become, if you don't have money, then you are going to die. The health insurance policy will come in. And then various interventions were added to it. Then, of course, after when the government comes in, to some extent, work on what we have come to inherit. But unfortunately, the very important health intervention, which had to be looked at critically, we assess the shortfalls of it and improve upon it, was neglected. So eventually we were more or less back to cash and carry. Then we do what the immediate past president have come with infrastructure, housing, security, and above all, free secondary education. So these are some of the things that we want to. And as I indicated, they all being human beings. They have their flaws.
So, most of the people in the country now are mostly witnesses of governance from the, I would say, Fourth Republic. And under the Fourth Republic, we've had mainly two parties fighting for power. These two political parties have interchanged administration under this republic. Please, which of these two would you say has significantly encouraged